Daisy Ridley is back in a Disney movie, but there's something peculiar going on. The future star of a Ray movie returning to box offices is having her current box office numbers hidden by Disney. That's right, folks, you're hearing this correctly. Disney doesn't want you to know just how poorly the most recent Daisy Ridley movie they put out is doing in theaters. Hello folks, welcome back to the Pro Channel. We are so happy to have you, where we continue to expose Hollywood and remind them that they destroyed their own industry for reasons we can explain, and they're no better than if we didn't, because this is woke gone completely broke. That's no joke. Folks, today we are talking about Daisy Ridley, an actress who, by the way, we find to be very lovely, a wonderful person as far as we can tell, and we wish her no negativity. We wish her no failures in life. We want her to succeed. But we have to cover this. We have to cover the fact that she's the star of the next Star Wars movie coming out from Charmin Obaid-Chinoy, the director. And Disney seemingly is having to hide how much money they're losing on her movie because it's doing so poorly. We're going to get to the topic right now, folks. Again, no hate towards Daisy Ridley, but we have to cover the news. And this is news you cannot miss. And poor Daisy Ridley, her movie is going away. We're not sure about the Ray movie yet, folks, but the movie that she is in currently right now, not doing well, and the spin is real. Okay, so this is out of slashfilm.com. Again, folks, bringing you the headlines that you need to know before they blow up all over the internet. Take a look at this. Daisy Ridley's new movie is in theaters, but Disney won't reveal its box office numbers. Well, that sounds confident. Let's find out, folks, why they say they won't reveal the numbers, and then we'll wipe it away. This is by Ryan Scott. Daisy Ridley, known best for her role as Rey in the Star Wars sequel trilogy, had a brand new, critically acclaimed movie in theaters this past weekend. One would be forgiven for not knowing that, though, as Disney didn't launch a huge campaign for the release of Young Woman and the Sea. Be that as it may, the House of Mouse believes they have a winner on their hands, which is why they put the movie in theaters in the first place. But there's going to be a switcheroo. But it's not trying to rake in big bucks at the box office. No, they don't want that. They wouldn't. A movie that makes money, they don't want that. That's for sure. In fact, the studio isn't even reporting box office numbers for the film at all. Totally normal. Disney is not sharing official figures for Young Woman in the Sea, which is odd for a company known for its dominance at the box office in the 2010s. Granted, Disney hasn't been nearly as dominant in the pandemic era. Well, apparently, we're still in it.
Nearly?
But that's a conversation for another time.
Is that like being a little pregnant?
It's like watching 75% of your revenue be gone and saying, oh, we're still fine. It's a dip. It's a dip. As it relates to the movie at hand, the studio simply put this one in theaters, believing that it has a shot at qualifying for awards later in the year. So, rather than dump it directly to Disney Plus, the company opted to give it a short run in theaters to perhaps bring some prestige in the form of awards, season glory. That's what this is all about. They didn't care about making money. They didn't want to just put it in a single theater and try to, get it be award certified by having been a theatrical release. No, they just, listen, they wanted to release this pro bono. They wanted to do it as a charitable offering. They wanted to take even all the proceeds they got and donate it to all of the individuals with dwarfism who are out of jobs in Hollywood. But gosh darn it, capitalism made them not do that. So they're not going to report the numbers out of the goodness of their mousy hearts. Lou, explain, please.
It had to qualify for awards so they could advertise, if they ever make it, the Ridley Star Wars movie as starring the winner of the East Podunk Tuesday Film Festival Award for Best Supporting Swimmer.
You're a cynic. You're a cynic, Lou.
No, I just see too many Disney headlines. That's all.
You're telling me, Lou, that you think that they put this out here to drive support for Daisy Ridley, bring her back into stardom for the Ray movie, and when that didn't work, they hid the numbers. Is that what you're saying, Lou?
Well, officially, the only awards I know of that you have to have been in a theater sometime during the year are the Oscars and the big ones. So if they thought this was going to win those, they were dreaming.
Careful. You're going to make me disbelieve this author.
I'll also point out that Disney needed to have more things on the schedule this year for appearance.
Well, yeah, there's that.
And so as they were trying to figure out what they could put into theaters, this was going to go on Disney Plus. This gives them the advantage of being able to move at their own discretion the budget of this film off of the Disney Plus ledgers, which the last time that they released information on Disney Plus, they were 47 million above the line on Disney Plus, which is actually for all of DTT. So moving something off the books that might cost, I don't know, around 47 million to make or more, it makes a difference right now to move it off of the Disney Plus schedule and onto the theatrical schedule first.
I think it was CinemaCon that demanded that the movie come to their theaters.
Well, let me go
I'm
to
wondering
Chris
if they even have any numbers to report. I mean, did anybody go see it?
It's hard to know. We'll never know, will we? Because they're not going to report it to us. But Chris, what does it say about a company when they've got a big Star Wars movie on the horizon starring an actress, and the movie that they put out with her in it, going into this, they won't report the numbers? What does that say about the state of Disney right now?
They're in shambles. I mean, the entire studio's in shambles, and it's shambles of their own making. I'm not sure how they recover, if they recover. It seems like Disney's been ubiquitous my entire life, and that it's always been a stalwart of quality movies, whether that be live action movies or animation. And they have seriously lost their way.
How'd they do it, Chris? What did it to them?
Political ideology, hiring people who are like-minded, the same as the people who are in charge with that same political ideology. It's the same thing that's been going on in Silicon Valley for years. It's really a West Coast flavor of thinking. And now they're bereft of ideas. I mean, I know we're going to talk about Tiana's Bayou a little bit later, but I mean, it's really just a microcosm of Disney writ large, not respecting the lore, running away from classic material of your past, not creatively doing it in any fashion, really having no respect for your customers. It's just
all of that is definitely true, but from a purely business point of view, this big Star Wars movie that they're trying to build her up for, isn't that the one that she said she still hasn't seen anything on paper, no script?
Yeah,
it's hard to get a script these days. It's hard.
All I'm saying is, on purely business terms, they forgot how to make movies. Oh well, we'll just shoot it 4, 5, 6 times. That won't be so bad.
Yeah.
We haven't got a script, and we haven't got the budget, and we haven't got. But what the heck? Let's just get started. It'll work its way out as we go along.
And it is a numbers game. It's just about making money. Even Marvel is already proceeding into pre-production this month, I think, with Avengers 5. It's not going to be called Kang Dynasty, but there's no director yet. I don't even know that there's a completed script yet, but they've got to keep churning. You've got to keep churning and trying to put some black on the books.
Just keep churning. Just keep churning. Paul, I want to be clear. We're not anti-Daisy Ridley here. We're not mocking Daisy Ridley. She's trying to get work, and she probably works very well in this movie. She probably does her best. But Paul, just to put things in perspective, if Daisy Ridley was not about to be in a Rey movie, where is Daisy Ridley's career separate from that?
She has mentioned it herself that Rey has kind of killed her movie career.
Yeah, it killed. It didn't kill Star Wars.
And I mean, it kind of killed Mark Hamill's career also. But that kind of thing happens. Again, some actors are sad because they are now identified with a certain property, and other actors are thankful, that they've at least gotten one hit out of the park. Most actors don't even get that chance. She seems to be a wonderful person. All her interviews are charming.
Absolutely.
And so again, actors are hired mercenaries. You get a job, you go do it, and then you hope that they're successful. And sometimes you do it because you like the people involved with the movie. You want to work with a particular director. I want to be in a Tarantino film. I mean, there's many reasons for wanting to be in a movie. This particular movie, I guess, someone suggested that she do it, and I don't think she needs a paycheck. I think she's pretty much set for life. This is the reason I'm asking you.
This is the reason I'm asking you. If I'm Disney right now, if I'm not Lucasfilm because they don't care, but if I'm Disney and I'm looking at this, I'm saying to myself, This is the pull that Daisy Ridley has. May not be her fault, may not at all be her fault. But if this is the kind of reception that she pulls on her own, and we're going to put her in a standalone Star Wars film, we're not going to have a Luke Skywalker tease, to pull in the audience. We're not going to culminate all of Star Wars that people have been watching since the 1970s. We're just going to go with a Daisy Ridley story. This is terrifying to me to see this kind of a box office return. Is that fair?
Yeah.
I don't know how they sold this. I haven't seen the ads or anything.
Point.
If they sold it as starring your favorite Star Wars girl and it didn't go, that's seriously bad. If they sold it as starring Daisy Ridley and most people said, "Oh, you mean what's her name, Rey?" To
me, this is proof that Hollywood no longer knows how to manage or make stars.
Yeah.
You don't do this. Like, you could purposely say, okay, we're going to talk to Daisy's management. We're going to make sure that outside of Star Wars that we cultivate her stardom.
Yeah.
This movie isn't going to be it. Like, right. It's dumb within that context. It doesn't hurt her. I mean, it doesn't help her, and it doesn't help Disney, and no one cares about this movie.
No. But
Harrison Ford
had a good career after Star Wars. I mean, but he was doing movies like Witness, Blade Runner, Mosquito Coast. Harrison Ford either had a really good agent or very discerning sense of what sort of career he wanted to have. And Daisy could do the same if she would do something that wasn't safe. This just seems like really safe potential Oscar bait. Mm-hmm. It's a gold winning swimmer, medalist, with a very feminist bent to, girl power. Only men had swam this channel, I think. I mean, I know very little about the movie, but it just seems like a safe decision to do this movie. We're looking for a strong female, and we think you can do it. I think she ought to do, some ensemble stuff, period pieces, being in the next Ryan Johnson Glass Onion, or not Glass Onion, whatever the name of his Knives Out. Yeah, that kind of stuff. I think she really doesn't need to be the star of another film unless it's really something not wildly off cast, but just something a little bit unsafe.
And aside from that, Chris, the worst thing about this as a choice for her career, if I was guiding her career, is playing a real historical person. Because wasn't she good as, is it Diana Nyad that this is about, I think? And it's not about her at that point. It's not, I
think Nyad was the woman who swam from Cuba to Florida, wasn't that?
Something like that. But I thought English Channel 2 and other of those.
Well, the interesting parallel with doing any kind of these swims is that you're constantly being attacked by lampreys and suckers, which I don't think they intended on making that parallel.
All right, final question goes to Jonas J.
But
Campbell.
no suckers went to the box office, so
no suckers went to the box office. Jonas, final question goes to you. Which one's a bigger flop, this one or the Zendaya tennis film?
Oh yeah.
Oh my. Well, they're completely different audiences here. This is the kind of film. The Young Woman in the Sea is the kind of film that Disney used to make as an also ran when they would do only 6 films a year. It would be something like Queen of Katwa or Wrinkle in Time, these things that are not necessarily the one they're betting the farm on, and they could flop and it wouldn't be a big deal. Whereas Challengers is probably exactly what it is intended to be.
Did it do okay? Hasn't it done okay?
I don't remember. I think it did well
straight
enough.
to Netflix or whoever really fast is what I know about that.
Which probably means that it made its money back because they would not anticipate that a movie like that marketed in that way.
That's true. I'm just saying it didn't last in the theaters any more than a week or two.
Right. I think that Disney has done everything they want to do with this film, which is to check the box and say, hey, we did this. They probably appeased Jerry Bruckheimer, who is they're probably talking to Bruckheimer a lot about reviving National Treasure, Pirates of the Caribbean. They need him for that period that was started when Dick Cook was in charge of the Walt Disney Studios there, so they can extend that out and get a little bit of that nostalgia from back when they were profitable. So I would say this is an on paper win for Disney. and definitely not a monetary win, other than they also get to shift a little bit more off the Disney Plus books, which is important for the stock price. They will, if they can fudge with the numbers on Disney Plus, they'll make more in stock valuation than they ever would profit off of a film like this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end. It is with great sorrow, but do not fret, not yet, for more content is yet on the way. 3 times a day right here on the Pro Channel. And folks, also check out our sibling channel, That Park Place, for even more content, the kind that you crave and we love to bring to you each and every single day. All right, it's your turn. Energize this thing. Click the like button, share, subscribe. Click it, stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, as we get ready to say goodbye, we say this every time because we mean it, we believe in it, we think it's important. Keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.